day one of the Budapest Major is done. And for the rest of the games, I'm going to go in order of how they happen. But I have to start with FaZe versus NRG. FaZe, the best team at this stage of the Major by far, at least on paper. They probably have the two best players at this stage of the Major in Twists and Frozen. Versus an NRG who don't even have their in-game leader here because Nitro, their IGL, is having a kid right now. And so they are playing with their coach, Daps, instead. And by the way, you can see Daps is 6 and 5. So clearly something weird goes on here. This was a bit of a late night gaming sesh, okay? I will give the caveat of that. Maybe that plays partly into how FaZe performed here, but you expect them to win this. You know, late night gaming sesh, turn off the lights. It started back and forth. It was late enough that I actually missed some of my beauty sleep to watch this game, okay? And look at me. I don't miss my beauty sleep for much, okay? Sheesh. Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and get into it and start with actually some good play from FaZe. And Jacob especially was huge on this CT side. He got a bunch of multi-kills, got them off to a lot of good starts. They put this defensive smoke down, and Jacob, he was just getting a bunch of multi-kills like this towards A. Lovely spray down. That was probably one of the luckier ones, but he was getting some very skilled ones, and you got to get the timing right as well. So NRG end up just stalling. Hello? Okay. They end up stalling on long for ages, and eventually, they look for the pick. Exotic can't get it. They go in towards the site with just a bit of utility. And then Daps, I don't know where this came from. He just does this. Oh, cool. Yeah, just headshot him through the smoke. Okay. Brokey misses his chance. Now we're onto the site. And you're like, wow, okay. I guess Daps is a better fragger than Carrigan this whole time. Cool. Okay, sweet. They're getting this bomb down. But as it happens, just watch Carrigan on the minimap, because this is why you do still have him on the team. He can pull off stuff like this. They're getting stalled out on this plant. And Carrigan is just going to come in on this flank, unexpected from NRG's perspective. And now this retake is much, much easier. Unfortunately, I love Daps, but he can't pop off this much. Nice try here from Exotic. But he ends up going down. And okay, you think FaZe are going to be in decent enough shape after a decent start from NRG. But then as it goes on, NRG start to show up, man. We get this round where Twists double AWPing towards B. It's always an interesting map for FaZe because you have Twist and Frozen playing B. With the molly there, Twist gets 2. Good start for FaZe. But then we must just get a bit of miscommunication here because Frozen pulls a nade out and Twist is not peeking at all. But Frozen seems to think he is able to smoke tunnels right now and just peeks and dies. And Twist was not holding it this whole time. And now Twist feels like he has to peek because he's just watched his teammate do this. And Sonic was holding. And suddenly we're back to a 3-on-3. And what is happening this whole time? Look at the minimap. Daps is giga-braining it. Here's the rotation. They all think he's just towards B. They get this kill on the site, and then Daps is the definition of Unk still got it, okay? Because his aim is clearly pretty awful. He would tell you that himself. Like, look at this. But throughout this game, he is in Carrigan's head rent-free. Seriously, the amount of rounds he uses his instinct. And what I love about this game is that Daps shows just how much impact and just how good you can be just from out-positioning your opponents. Absolutely fantastic play from Daps. Realizing they'd scramble to get over to B, he can hear these rotations. They're fighting into the site. He just drops down. We don't need to look at this bit. It doesn't need to look pretty, okay? It just needs to work. And that worked, damn it. Oh, and he gets another. He just duels Jacob, as you do. The top fragger on the server with 14 kills. Easy for Daps early on. So we get into the second half, and FaZe start coming back, and again you think, okay, NRG can only take it so far. And NRG here, they lose long early in this key gun round. And so look at how they respond. Two players on short for NRG. Couple of players mid trying to also stall things out.
He's got to be careful with this.
Exotic's just holding, but eventually pulls the molly out at just the right time. Yes, he goes down very low, but that molly is huge. Because now these players are scaling up long, but these NRG players are going to at least stop one side of the push. That molly gives them all the space to swing. Somehow George gets 2 off of this. I don't know how. But you see how that gives them all the space to swing, and suddenly, this doesn't look as good for FaZe. Yes, you have the sight, but this retake looks very doable.
George goes for the double. Jacob tries the same. George is on a tear.
And you can see they don't even get the bomb down. And that ends up having a huge impact here. Because of that short push play, now they don't get the bomb planted. Great way, by the way, to stop that A play. You have to choose which side of the push are you stopping, and that's how you deal with it. Because if you get pushed from both sides on that A site, you're screwed. So great understanding from NRG. And now, we get that example. Frozen was watching lower tunnels. George gets a nice transfer. And suddenly, look at the money for FaZe. Because they didn't get a bomb plant, they have a 1.9k loss bonus and about 2k on each player. If they save, they're going to have a pretty bad buy. So they decide to force. And suddenly, they go for this B play. Actually, I think I have it up here. Oh, maybe not. Either way, they go for this B play. And who else is here but Daddy Daps? Bro peeks, gets blinded a bit, big damage. They're just going for this pop play. But FaZe haven't really done anything anywhere else. So there's 2 players B. They're ready for the rotate. And Daps, listen, if they just get the assist for him, he can shoot them in the body, okay? That's easy to do. He might not get headshots, but he can shoot them in the body. And somehow Bro just survives forever. I mean, it's a pistols against him, so it's going to happen. But suddenly, NRG have a 10-8 lead. They have a 10-8 lead. And then going into the next, we get this 1-for-1 at long. It is Daps who pushes through the smoke. Again, so many impact rounds from him. Nicely done with the counter flash after Sonic got blind. Spams this smoke, and FaZe figure they can't get out here. They don't trust it. Daps is holding this angle. It's not a good fight for them. And I love, you can see again, like, Daps' mechanics are just not there. Like, he throws his gun away thinking the AK's below him. He ends up with a molly out. He has to go run and pick it up. It's so fun to watch. But again, this is what I mean by Daps just being in Carrigan's head rent-free. He figures, okay, we've stopped the long play. What are FaZe likely to do? Maybe they'll just go back to B. And so they leave A long entirely, taking the gamble that the play won't be there, rotating 2 players over to B to make it a 3B stack. This is an incredible read from Daps. But then, oh, hello. Bro just took an AWP shot. As FaZe tried to walk silently back to B, Bro took an AWP shot and missed it. And so Daps suddenly realizes, like, oh, okay, if they've heard the AWP on B, they might not want to push this site anymore. Maybe that's going to change things for FaZe, right? So we get the nade through. Maybe he heard some steps moving back. I think it looked like Carrigan made some noise. And so Daps just calls it out. And this is what I love. I genuinely think Daps was just playing purely off his instinct because he expects nothing out of himself. He expects himself to get 0 kills as the coach standing in. So he just says, let me play off of my instinct. Let me play to get information and space for my teammates. If I think they're going back to A, I'm just going to push it. Because if I get the information that they're not here, it will win us the round. And guess what? It does. He sees that B is completely clear. They rotate everyone towards A with little time left. And more importantly, he keeps just getting behind them. He doesn't have to have good aim. Easy kill. He's got a molly that he's going to throw down. just to make sure they can't come back to B. And now FaZe are stressing. They feel like they have to go A quickly because they know that NRG know exactly what they're about to do. Nice shot from Exotic. Nice second. FaZe have to be a little rushed because they feel like they're pressured into the A site. And suddenly, NRG are actually on map point and actually winning the game. Beautiful from Daps. And we'll show the final round to close it. Ooh. Chat is disabled, I know that. I can't get rid of it though, apparently. Cool. I missed. Sonic getting crazy killed through the smoke. I mean, that is a bit lucky. Okay, we got to admit that. And then his Carrigan goes long. He just doesn't seem to know that George could be here. He forces the AWP off the angle. And it may be because of that, he just assumes that this was the AWP solo holding and the other A players would be back towards the site, because that is the common way of playing it. But instead, it's a nice cheeky trick to set George up. And in the 3v5, they go back towards Daps. He does all right. He gets one before he's traded. And they nearly mess this up. They nearly mess this 4v2 up. This is like a Falcon scenario right here. Exotic has a teammate run in front of him, so he can't get the kill. Brokey finds it. Brokey finds a second. You're kind of scared. But Bro's second AWP comes through to the double doors for the trade. And even though Twist gets this kill, 15 seconds, and he has to go B to get the bomb. So Bro knows that, and he just sits. And Twist decides he's going to play for the kill, hoping that Molly would flush him out of the site, but Bro decided to sit back the whole time. Kind of ballsy. And Twist can't clear the positions. FaZe go down to NRG. No 3-0 for the boys on the pick'ems. And there's a few things to say here. Firstly, as I was saying, I love that Daps was able to have so much impact. And it's not just about the kills. It's about the fact you could see the amount of times he just knew exactly what was going on the overall big picture and was able to just get behind people because of it. It really shows how much of Counter-Strike can be a thinking man's game. Because, again, Daps' aim is, like, really bad. Like, you can watch that demo. I guarantee you, almost none of the kills Daps got were from insane aim. There was a couple of, like, crazy headshots he got on the edge of smokes and stuff. But for the most part, he's just killing people that aren't even looking at him. And that is the beauty of Counter-Strike, that you can even do that in the first place. Secondly, I want to point out Exotic. Because this guy literally stopped playing in 2023. Look, he stopped playing. Oh, sorry, 2022. He stopped playing. And he joined NRG again after genuinely barely playing any CS2 for like 3 years in terms of professional games. He joined in July. So someone please tell me, if I go on HLTV, why he is mogging Brokey in this game. Why is that happening? Because Exotic had a good game for himself, 19 and 12. Brokey can't be 8 and 15 on Dust 2. That cannot happen. Frozen can't really go 10 or 18 either. Now, again, we are using somewhat of a caveat. This game started at a crazy late time. Look, you can see it's at 11:30 my time. That means it would have been midnight midnight local time because of some delays that have gone on earlier in the day. So maybe that affects things, but I still don't really think you can use that as an excuse if you're FaZe. You got to be winning this sort of game. Fair play to NRG, though. Also, massive shout out to Bro. This guy is so good on CT side anchor spots. I've been saying it for a long, long time. He's just that classic Danish rifler where you're like, I'll just put you in the bad spot and you'll just massively overperform. He's like the second coming of Shush, except maybe better right now. On CT side, really, really good. He had a great game here. Yeah, the Exotic story is the crazy one, though. Like, I'll show you his HLTV because you almost can't believe this when you see it. Look at this. Okay, you scroll down just a little bit. It goes all the way back to 2023. He's barely played any maps since coming back. He played a little bit for this team, and then he's just getting up to speed playing on NRG and just farming NA teams. And now he's just come and beat FaZe and played well in doing it. Seriously. And in this first game, he played great too. Exotic seems to be the answer for this team's AWPing issues. Like, great pickup for them. We'll move on because we don't want to stay on FaZe being sad for too long. Hopefully you just chalk it up to the weird timing of the game, the coach situation, the best of one you don't really get to properly prepare for. Yeah, that can happen, but it doesn't feel like it should happen, does it? It doesn't feel like it should happen. Hopefully they can turn it around. But yes, there are some of those circumstances. Let's move on. And let's go back to the start of the day. The very start of the day with M80 versus Bait. M80 had a good game today. They had a good performance today. NACS kind of killing it today. To start with, M80 were just making a lot of moves, man. And I think they really game planned well for Bait, because Bait are a very simple team. Normally, Bait are just going to make what they're doing very obvious. They kind of play like a pug, honestly. Like, they're never going to sell some crazy fake. So M80 would start doing stuff like this. Slacks would push. He'd get a kill. Starts to try and drop back. Ends up getting traded. But off the back of this, Hext ends up pushing B apartments, figuring, okay, you've got one kill, you've gone 1 for 1 at underpass. This is probably the area of the map that's weak on the default. And indeed, he gets the fair fight with the AK that he's got, brings it into a 4-on-3. And then, I've got to say, Bait was sloppy today. They were really sloppy today. Like, look at this. You're playing behind the mid boxes on Mirage. You literally, FaceIt players will know how to hit this smoke. They just miss it. They just miss the window smoke. Cool. I mean, it happens sometimes in pro games, but it just kind of sums up this Bait team to me. I just don't feel like they're a very locked-in team. They feel very loose, very puggy. And sometimes that can work when their team plays good. Here in this one, though, they just try and walk back into A. And again, because Hext has pushed into B apps, Bait just kind of make it obvious what they're doing. They don't really have the util. They just try and walk in. And eventually, they're just going to clean this up, as you would expect. Moving on to a little later on, M80 get a big lead early. Again, that early aggro, it just gave them all the info. It made it obvious what Bait were doing. I think that is the way to beat Bait. They're not going to exactly completely outstrat you. And then into the second half, Bait, they start their comeback with some heads-up CT plays. Here in this one, in the 3v3, this is where Bait can be at their best sometimes, making this proactive play with head trick. And he heard Swisher here. Somehow Swisher calls him out, which is incredible. Swisher was good today as well. That's a talking point. But because of the early info, Bait have been able to rotate to B. Kenzazor gets the kill. Hext is still lurking. And the bomb gets dropped up in the apps. Nothing that Hex can do. And you see those mid-round moments, those proactive plays working. But this is what I mean with Bait just being a little sloppy. I think it's mainly in some of their team play in these little moments. Because, as I was saying, they're not going to beat you strategically. That is not Bait as a team. That is why they're playing Mirage. It's a map they play a lot because it's very simple, standard CS. The problem is, your trades have to be good. Your comms have to be good, at least. If you're not going to play tactically, that's fine. You can play as a pack, and you can just shoot hard and have good spacing and good trades. What you cannot do is this in the 2v2. Playing apart, Ascenthiel takes big damage. Headtrick plays off the back of it, gets the kill nicely. 30 seconds left with Hext in connector with the bomb. You spot him. You try and take the fight and you miss. Okay, that's fine. 25 seconds. And again, he's still there with the bomb. Oh, hello. We're buffering. We're back. Flash over. Peeks again. Gets lucky that Hex quick switched, by the way. And still, Ascenthiel is nowhere to be seen while this is happening. He's not got into a close position yet. So you leg him. And Headtrick just gets hungry for the kill with the pistol. Pushes out. Goes down. Ascenthiel can't trade. Now there's 15 seconds. And Hex just gets given the fight again and is able to win a huge 1v2 that wins M80 the map. Sometimes you just got to not overcomplicate things. Just wait for the guy to plant. Just hold a more passive angle. Wait for the guy to plant and you're fine. You can even play back towards CT if you want. Where's he going to go? You know? But instead, they get a little too greedy. And that can be a problem this team has sometimes. This swing, it just felt so unnecessary, right? Like, the time is getting low. Your teammate isn't nearby. You need to know that. And then Essential, he probably could wait too. Because he could have gone anywhere in that time, but instead they give it away. M80 go on to win that one. And yeah, they look pretty good, honestly. They look pretty good. I think overall, I liked what I saw from them, but Bait looking a little sloppy, man. Moving on to Legacy versus FlyQuest. This was a pretty big one early. Legacy taking a bit of an upset here. I liked their start of this game. On CT side, they were doing great. This was a little run boost action. You can see, a little run boost for Dumao. Gets him here so early. It's a great position to be in. With the nades, maybe a little unlucky that he only gets one kill and gets traded there. But Vexite was also so good for FlyQuest today, taking a lot of risks, playing aggressively. This is a moment that maybe shouldn't have worked for him walking through this smoke, but maybe they counter-stratted it, so I'm not going to say anything. Because Lux gets up here, Vexite sneaks in below him. Lets that player go on the site. I'm pretty sure he saw him. And instead decides to flank all the way round to Ivy to get this kill onto Lux, who he heard. That's a free kill. Suddenly this site take looks good. Another kill for Vexite. Clean aim from him today as well. Really like what I saw. He was just so cutthroat. And you think this is going to be an unlosable position for FlyQuest. But Sadsin gets given one fight. And then they try and get this bomb planted. And I think this clip has gone a little under the radar today. Oh, the wallbang to deny the plant is crazy. I'm surprised I've not seen that more. Really impressive to get that on the right side of the bomb train so that he can't get that bomb down. And now they don't have utility and suddenly they can't get the bomb down because they only have one defender. A 2v2 is so different from a 3v2 here. He rotates back around. JKS feels he has to try and fake plant. Sadsin doesn't fall for it though. He's just sitting and holding. And he closes it out. And this is what Legacy were doing early. Their individuals were showing up. They were turning rounds, some really impressive rounds. The problem for them was this was a train game where almost no T-side rounds were won. FlyQuest won the pistol, got a 3-0 lead. They got one other round. Outside of that, Legacy get the T-side pistol. They get nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. And fair play to FlyQuest. I think they were really well prepared for this one. And this is the round Legacy will want back. This is the round that will haunt them. 10-4 up off the pistol. Flash in for Vexite goes really nicely. Great timing. And he gets a little lucky on the edge of the smoke. And again, look at how low this low buy is. It feels like it should just be a round that Legacy can clean up. But we get this utility in. The smoke comes through. This smoke onto connector feels a little awkward. It doesn't land as deep as you might like. It kind of lets CT sneak in behind it and play weird close angles like they want to with the pistols here. And then this molly, it just bounces off. So you get this kill, but the other player on the site can kind of stay there. And this molly onto Netic's position hasn't fully spread onto him either. So yeah, you come in and get this kill. But Netic's there for the quick trade. He's not quite burned. And then Inns, who was mollied on the site, but the molly missed, so he's still on the site in a good position, is able to come in and help Netic here with some damage. Gets another kill on one bullet now, Netic. And he does go down, but JKS has been walking the flank while all this distraction and, you know, longed out play onto A has been happening. And he just gets out of pot before Sadsin is ready. And even though Sadsin's getting this bomb down, He does not expect JKS to be up so close. That's the sort of impact you want to see JKS deliver for this FlyQuest team. And then they just start taking initiative. They go so aggressive, FlyQuest, but I love it because that's normally what Legacy want to do. So you just stop them straight away. Here in this one, we get the B aggression. JKS gets the info, deals with it well. We get lag again. A bit of lag for the boys. And then while they may be a bit distracted towards JKS, we get this push into Pop, and Regali gets a kill. And then Vexite goes through the molly, which Satson somehow isn't ready for. I guess he didn't hear it. And FlyQuest are just stopping Legacy before they can set up any of these plays. And again, same thing happens. Legacy want to run around right from the start. But we get these two FlyQuest players playing towards Ivy. And Lux, he's coming out through A main thinking, I'm just going to be the pressure lurker. I'm going to keep them in place on A. They're going to be scared of me. Run straight through. But FlyQuest have this double aggression Ivy. They stick to it. They don't get scared of the A site. It's meant to be a big split towards A through Ivy. And even though Legacy have a fantastic flash here, Netic gets the first kill. And they just don't fully swing there. I'll play it back at full speed. They just don't fully swing as much as they should have. They just wait a little too long. They let Netic get away with 2 kills and just standing in this position. Absolute madness. They get away with it. They get the kill elsewhere. Vexite pushing main, locks it in. FlyQuest with a big performance today. They played really well. I like what I see out of FlyQuest. I think they just look dialed in as a team. I know that everyone's scared now that they've gone 2-0. I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be absolutely fine here. They're not going to choke it this time. They go through. They look very solid as a team. The firepower's looking good too. Nip NRG... there wasn't much to say about this one. I'm not going to lie. This is a weird one. I mean, Daps was doing this stuff again. Like you see here, he just walks up towards A so early that NIP aren't ready for him. And he walks really fast off the back of this smoke. Walks into the A site. By the way, why is Daps looking so devious? Like he was planning this the whole time. Devious Daps, we call him. Just walks onto A. And again, like, you see just how bad his aim is. I'm sorry, Daps, but it is. Like, the swings are so awkward. Like, everything about this, like, it makes me so uncomfortable. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. But eventually, we get them locking it in. Exotic with some good impact again. And then... the game just kind of cuts out. We had this a bit. We had some tech issues today. And the screen just goes black for a while. I guess Daps just went to beast mode. They couldn't show this. Daps was just too sick. Can't show any of that. So, yeah, we'll just have to skip ahead, I guess, to this moment here. Where I think this sums up this game. This is a very scrappy game. NIP did not look good. I didn't even think NRG looked good. Like, look at this round from George. Okay, yes, he's against, like, a weird half-buy. But... tell me how he's pulled out his USP for a second. But not just a second. A third. Tell me how that happens. Kind of summed up this game, to be honest. There wasn't much to break down here. I mean, I think Expertise is kind of flashed here, but whatever. This was not an interesting game to talk about. FaZe Lynn Vision, though, I mean, listen, FaZe won this game, but, like, I think Lynn Vision looked pretty awful, honestly. Like, FaZe did what they needed to, but you're going to see here. The amount of times Lynn Vision would do this, I don't know why they went for this nuke, because this is a map that FaZe have been getting some wins on lately, and it's not that good for them either. They go for these 2 smokes close, wait them out, and then they use 2 more smokes to cross down Secret. It just feels like so much utility to use to get down Secret. The thing I will give FaZe credit for is I love how forward they played in this game. Too often, I feel like FaZe in the past have just sat back when they're the favorites, assumed that they're the better team, and that they don't have to make plays. Here, they were very proactive, and I think it was a great decision. Just meant the Lynn Vision were thrown off constantly. Brokey here on this aggressive angle in hut. Gets a nice opener for the team. And then from here, smoke down late. I think they try and go for this crazy vent dive. You can see Twist already down here. And this is what I mean, like, this push looks so limp from Lynn Vision, right? Like, I don't know what their plan was in this round. But they just kind of run down the clock and have no util left. And the counter utility is part of it, but still, it looked pretty rough. A little later on, we get this fast A. But again, just a small example of what I'm showing you in terms of Lynn Vision looking sloppy and why I don't think this was that impressive of a win for FaZe. I think they kind of just did what you would expect them to. Utility in, flash here. There's just no smoke here in time to block off this Karrigan position. I guess you're going for pace. But it's just so easy for Karrigan. Like, the flash pops. It doesn't even pop in that good of a spot, by the way. Like, this is quite easy to dodge. He just gets 2 kills. Then the smoke comes up. Just, you know, a second too late. You're just like, okay, this was a game where I was like, I don't think FaZe have been truly tested yet. And, well, we got the true test later on. Also, I gotta say, there was some weird audio delay on this. So, like, analyzing rounds like this with this audio delay, I'll let it play. That just breaks my brain. I can't do it. I can't do it. So, we will move on to Imperial FlyQuest. Again, solid from FlyQuest. More of the same, man. You'll see here, they get this spam on banana. I don't... Why does... Nope, I have it on normal speed. Launders just sounds drunk for some reason. I don't know why that is. There's some audio issues as well. Push on the side of the smoke, but I love that Vexite was constantly making these plays. He heard this spam from Vinny. Big spam from Vinny. Vexite is playing so fearlessly. I love it. Whenever he has an instinct and he feels like he can catch someone out, he's going to make the play. And it's working a lot.
Good damage, but he's going to have to reload.
In this round, he gets 1. But he heard all that spam. He figured Vinny's going to have no ammo if he kills me. So Ince pops in for the follow-up. And Try feels like he has to commit. And he gets stuck on this corner. And boom, Ince just takes him out. And so because Vexite made this play, gives Ince the chance for the trade and the chance to quickly adjust towards this player who they know is going to swing to try and help Vinny, who's probably screaming, I'm reloading, please help me.
Right there on the corner.
Boom, nice kill. Easy B site. Imperial definitely looked a little dodgy for me. I don't think this was a good map from them. Again, though, here's another example. They hear this molly. Smoke comes down, and Vexite just says, you know what? I'm just running at this guy. I've heard this guy is here. They've just thrown a smoke. I'm just going to back myself to get in here.
Oh, Vexite's going to try to punish this anyway.
Again, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm showing examples where it doesn't work. I'm sorry, Vexite. But it was working a lot. Okay, he was getting a lot of openers. But this time he goes down. Nice idea. But then, as this round goes on, for some reason, even though they have full banana control, I guess they're just scared that Vinny's so committed down here. They start rotating a player, and they also, they leave the apartments completely open. And so again, FlyQuest, they just played them like a fiddle across the map throughout this. And you see, they just walk out the balcony, they find the one gap. And so late in the round, I guess that B pressure was enough because JKS walks out for 2 kills. Cello's trying to get back in the site. Bro, you already lost the site. You can't run back in like this. Even the UMP's going to kill you. Yeah, this was a great game from FlyQuest today. I don't think Imperial put up as much of a fight, but FlyQuest still played well. MAT PVISION, this was a fun one.
A major rookie.
I gotta say, Imperial, they did look kind of bad on that Inferno. I should just add that. They were just leaving so many gaps open. And then FlyQuest kept taking them, to be fair. But, yeah, something needs to be worked on that map for them, for sure. Here in this one, MAT off to a great start. You're going to see this Palace play. This is crazy. Okay. XX coming in. They've smoked off Palace. Hex goes down. Swisher just spams back. That's a huge kill. Now you can actually start swarming on this site. And look at the pace. This is what I love. The pace of this is crazy.
Through the smoke.
Swisher swings, he goes down, but he knows he can swing because look at how far up his teammates are. James cannot get away because of how quick they've got up, and they've got this deep jungle molly. They just keep going. I love the pace and the timing of this team right now. And look at how quick they are at getting the bomb down as well. Smoking connector, another deep molly in jungle just to make sure. And they don't bother taking CT control, so the A anchor is just sitting here like, oh, okay, I guess I've just got to let the bomb get planted. And so because this bomb is planted so soon, PVISION take forever setting up this retake. They're smoked off in connector. They don't know what to do from CT.
Versus jungle control. We'll see.
Sin still has a molly.
Sitting around as teammates get onto site. That's AW. That bomb.
But you'll see, they just end up playing back here. Eventually, PVISION tap the bomb because they haven't been able to clear out enough in all this time.
Slacks activates when they touch that bomb.
It's time to go, but can you even?
And they just get that one kill, and that's all they need. Absolutely love that approach of taking A. Not even really fully taking the site, just kind of focusing that jungle so hard. Really cool way to do it. Here in this one, what I think has been a big game changer for M80 is Swisher is starting to feel these little gaps on T-side so much more. Because I've known that Swisher is capable of this. I've seen it in the past. They're going for this A split. Smoke goes down, and Swisher just says, you know what? I feel like I can get this. I feel like it's not going to be held. I'm just going to walk through. And he walks through before the smoke blooms. And he gets out into Under Palace. And just like that, he gets a kill. And this kill changes the entire round. Because now this A site is vulnerable. And think about the PVISION comms right now. James is probably screaming, somehow they're behind me. Okay, they're on A. And while this is happening, they're starting to move in from connector. But they've also boosted up Hext, who is sitting in the window smoke. So as this connector duel goes down, Hex pushes out at the perfect time while all this chaos is going on. Think of the comms right now. They are probably screaming. They're on A, their connector, their window. It's impossible to communicate all this in time. Hex only gets one kill from it in the end. Maybe a bit unlucky too, honestly. But you see, at full speed, look at how quick that all happened. Right? I can sit here and break it all down. Let me play it back for you and imagine what these comms are.
He's going to find a blindside moment here on James. Nada returns it with a bit of con control that activates Hex.
And then this molly is just perfect. Lake through this molly in from connector. There's no smoke.
Edge of the smoke, fire, burning some
Not just burns alive. So even if they get that kill traded onto Hext, the molly's going to do it. They get onto A in a good position.
Is yellow worker this what they along that bench. And it hasn't been caught, but Swisher
goes back to a 2v2, but Swisher gets one.
AW's gonna need a second and a third on this round. Standing tall, down.
He really wanted the spam, bless.
Inside of that flashed moment, doubles back towards ramp. Oh,
and he gets the kills, but no time. Really good game from M80 today, and again, I'm telling you, Swisher is the X factor for this team. I know that he can be great. He played well today. Thank you guys for watching. So many best of one games. I might split this one up into 2 different videos next time for the opening games and then the second round of games because there is a lot to go with. But thank you for watching. It's late, okay? My brain is scrambled. I'll catch you next time.